Hi, my name's Steve, my business partner Austin, and today we're going to talk about building a portfolio as a newer bookkeeper. So I know it's probably kind of late in the game, and maybe you've already have built up clients and stuff like that, but it's a perfect time if you've got a couple of them to put together a portfolio and show what you've done. So one of the biggest challenges that I know you've had when you first started is getting those first clients. So that's the very, very hardest part. And it can be like the catch 22 where you have to get clients to build a portfolio. You have to get a portfolio to get clients, but you all know that you can do it without it, but it's just harder. So you need experience to get clients, but you need clients to get experience, the old, catch 22 once again. But thankfully you're past that. You've got some clients, and now we need to put together the portfolio to get other clients a lot easier. So you don't need 10 years of experience. You don't need dozens of testimonials. You just got to get a few bookkeeping portfolios under your belt. And you need to show potential clients that you actually know what you're doing, you understand their business, and you can take it from there. So let's see, we got Bloomington, Illinois bookkeepers. Surprisingly, 29 reviews is more than I would expect, and 9 here, 36.
Those aren't
Okay, so
actually
okay, accounting firm, tax prep, CPA, tax prep. All right, let's look at Grove. Let's see what we can come up with from Grove. Your trusted bookkeeping partner. We help small business owners stay on top of their financial records throughout the year. So, most of you would know by now that I would want the town in here. And to me, this doesn't mean anything. Nobody's going to use that as a trust factor, even though they're telling you to trust them, because it just doesn't mean anything. This starts to mean something. At Grove, we help small business owners stay on top of their financial records throughout the year, but it would be a whole lot better if we narrowed this down from small business owners to auto repair to HVAC to whatever it is. Then we could actually start ranking for these kind of things. We're definitely not going to rank for bookkeeping, small business owners. It's there's way too much competition for that. So people think when you narrow down a niche, you're eliminating customers, but you're actually adding a bunch more. So, if we were doing this, and let's say we had specialized in something, an excellent place would be to show a small portfolio. And these are two companies we worked with in the auto repair industry. This one came in 10 months behind and just a stack of paperwork everywhere. We turned them around. This one came in, they were more organized, but we saved them $10,000 this year in taxes. You show those two things, that's golden. That's worth its weight absolutely in gold. So, I've heard people ask about this, talk about this, using a fictional business, like a family member's business with permission, or a small business you help at a reduced rate. I don't recommend a fictional business at all. I do know that some people do that, but that is not something that I would do. We always try to stay above board and honest, and we would recommend the same. Now, a family member, that's different. If you help a family member, that is fair game. Of course, you always need permission of any businesses. Even if you don't name them, you still need their permission to mention what you did for them. And I know that sounds strange, and I'm not a lawyer, so if you need law advice, go somewhere else. But I do know that is something that I have seen before online, and I've asked the questions on ChatGPT and got the same answer that yes, you do need to do that. So go ahead and make sure you get that done. So you want to create a sample set of monthly financial reports for whatever business you're working with, auto repair, whatever it is, and get that up there. What should your sample include? It could include a cleaned up profit and loss statement, a balance sheet, monthly cash flow summary, a bank reconciliation example, just a short explanation of what the numbers mean for the business owner. So these are all things that you can include on there. You don't have to have them all. You can have some of them or none of them, but make sure you show something that makes sense to the business owner as they're looking at this, and don't make it too complicated. The bank reconciliation, if you can term that a little better, make it make it work for the business owner so that they don't have to figure out what are they talking about here. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Austin from here, and he's going to explain the rest.
So a short example of what the numbers mean for the business owner. Remember, most business owners are not only looking for someone who can enter transactions, they want someone who can help them understand where their money is going. So whether the business is profitable and what needs their attention. Your portfolio should determine that you can communicate those answers clearly. You can also create a before and after example, show what disorganized books might look like before cleanup, and then show how you categorize the transactions, reconciled the accounts, and create accurate reports. Be careful not to include any private client information. Remove names, account numbers, addresses, and anything else that could identify a real person or business. Next, choose a specific type of client you'd like to work with. A portfolio that says, I help real estate investors track income and expenses for each property. It will usually be more memorable than one that just says, I provide bookkeeping services. You can build your portfolio as a page on your website, a professional PDF, or even a simple presentation. Include a short introduction about yourself, the bookkeeping software you use, the types of businesses you serve, your sample work, and any training or certificates you have completed. As you begin working with clients, ask for permission to turn successful projects into short case studies. A case study does not have to be complicated, so explain the problem the client had, what you did to solve it, and the result they received. For example, this client was 3 months behind on reconciliations. I organized the transactions, reconciled the accounts, corrected the reporting errors, and created a easier monthly bookkeeping process. That type of example shows your value more clearly than simply saying you are accurate and dependable. Your first portfolio won't be perfect, but it doesn't need to be. The goal is to give potential clients confidence that you understand bookkeeping, can communicate professionally, and have a clear process for helping their business. Do not wait until you have years of experience to start presenting yourself professionally. Build a few strong samples, focus on the type of client you want to serve, and continue improving your portfolio as you gain experience. Your portfolio is not just proof of what you have already done, is a way to show potential clients what you can do for them.
So, the end of the day, I know we've stressed this a lot, but get started. We've seen people that get hung up on this stuff. Well, I can't get started because I don't have a portfolio. I don't have everything perfect. I don't have, no, that's not an excuse. Get started. You will be able to find some customers without this portfolio. But going forward, once you do get a few customers, the portfolio helps you get additional clients. But don't use this as a crutch, an excuse, anything like that. Just get started, and you will see results from doing that, because these portfolios will help cut your client retention, or I should say client acquisition, down considerably once you have that, because then you can just go to customers and say, look what I've done for others similar to you, and that's a good selling point. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you've got some value out of these. If you have, please like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow.